So, finally made it to Toronto. And most importantly, what I've come here to talk about is something very, very simple. And I know there's a lot of people here who have seen me before. There's a lot of people here who probably have never seen me before. But the message, hopefully, will reach out to each one of you. And the message has something to do not with some scientist's study, something to do with some fact, but it's a very different kind of fact. Who are we? What makes us what we are? And what are our possibilities? I know that in this world, people sit there and pray for being happy, pray for having better prosperity, to be rich. And I know that. There's a lot of people who go and buy lottery tickets. There's a lot of people who get very excited about one of those tickets where you just scratch off, even if you win $5. I won one of those one day. I was very excited. Very excited. So I had somebody call in. I said, here, call this number. I won. And it turned out I didn't win anything. And it was just a way to be able to get the phone number and so on and so forth. But the thing is, we have won something, but we don't know it. And that's very sad. That there is a part of our nature that is so beautiful, that is so incredible, that it is full of joy. That in that nature, the human beings want nothing more than to be content. That's not where we are at this point in time. With all our technology, look, people go, yeah, technology will solve our problems. The reality is technology has created more problems than it actually has solved. So we will need more technology to solve those problems, and then we will have more problems, and then we will need more technology to solve those problems, and then we will have more problems, and this will go on ad infinitum. Today I was reading an article, and there's this one car manufacturer that claims to have made a car that drives itself. So basically, you don't have to do anything. You just sit in it. Well, that car manufacturer has definitely solved one problem and probably added 10 more. One device called cell phone. You are all familiar with it. Now, if we look back at statistics ranging way back in years, how many people do you think a phone killed? I mean, maybe somebody heard bad news and just fell over because of a heart attack or something like that. And maybe somebody really wanted to commit suicide. They took the cord and wrapped it around their neck and, rare. But somebody came up with the idea that here we will make a device that will allow you to talk when you want to, wherever you want to. And people did. All in the wrong places, all in the wrong time, right when they're driving, totally distracted. And that phone has killed more people than you can possibly imagine. We created a solution to a problem. We needed to talk. Did we need to talk? I remember when the phone first came to our house when I was in India. It did not have a dial thing on it. It was just a phone. You picked it up. It was very automated. You picked it up, and the operator came on, and you said to the operator, I want to talk to so-and-so. And she would tell you, he's not in. And then you would say, well, when he gets back, could you let me know so I can talk to him? And she would call, 3 or 4 days later. Yeah, he's back. You want to talk to him? And you actually dialed. It was voice dialing. Better than Siri. You just said, I want to talk to so-and-so. And that was it. It knew the number. So we created a solution to the problem. Well, we have to talk. We have to talk. We have to talk. And so we have a solution which has caused its own set of problems. And now everywhere they're trying to start regulations. You cannot drive and talk on the cell phone. And can you imagine trying to come up with a regulation like that? So it reminds me of this story in a funny way. There was a guy who was very poor. He just had a little hut, a little yard, very little. And one day, he prayed to the Lord, said, Lord, can I have a cow? I would like a cow. I have milk and everything. It'd be great. Can I have a cow? He went to sleep that evening. He got up in the morning. And lo and behold, what's in his front yard but a donkey? He thought to himself, well, okay, I prayed for a cow, but I got a donkey. It's not the same thing, but I'll use the donkey for, carrying my burden and so on and so forth. So there he was with his donkey. Years rolled by, years rolled by, years rolled by. He got married. And one day his wife came to him and said, I want to get a cow. And he said, listen, we can't get a cow. There is not enough space. I have my donkey, and the donkey is very happy with the space there is. If we get a cow, this donkey will be really overcrowded. No, I want a cow. So she went out and got a cow. And sure enough, in that little yard, it was really overcrowded. And his donkey was not happy. So he prayed again. He said, Lord, kill the cow. This cow is just making things really bad. I mean, I had all this room, my donkey was happy, now there's the cow, and it's not working out. Kill the cow. Next morning, his donkey is dead. He looked up and he said, Lord, after 10 years, you would have thought you would have figured out the difference between a cow and a donkey. I asked for a cow, you gave me a donkey. I asked to kill the cow, you killed my donkey. And so, just like that, we pray. We pray that we don't know what to pray for. Because that which we are truly praying for has been answered. all the things you have and you don't have, you have one thing. And it is one of the most incredible prized possessions that you have. And it is you have a choice. You have a choice. You have a choice to be fulfilled. You have a choice to be content. You have a choice to be clear. You have a choice to be in joy. You have a choice to feel the beauty of being alive every single day. Every single day. That's your choice. We don't think it's our choice. We think this has something to do with our fate, our destiny, our karma. And the incredible thing is, there's plenty of people out there who have got an explanation for it. Yes, the reason why you're not rich is because you did something really terrible in your last lifetime. Like what? I mean, tell me so I won't do it again. I mean, isn't that the whole point of punishment? I mean, can you imagine what your child would feel like if you came to the child and just slapped it? And the child said, "What was that for?" So, "I don't know, but I know you're going to do something wrong." What is the point of the punishment if I don't know what it is? Oh, yeah, but your planets are not in the right place. Well, they're never in the same place, ever. They're just moving and moving and moving and moving and moving and moving. And here, check this out. What does eternity mean to you? It's a nice word, eternity. We say that to our girlfriends, to our boyfriends. "Oh, I love you forever." I was flipping through the channels one day, and there was this scientist saying, there is no such thing as eternity. Back to the channel. What? It was just an ad for a show. There is no such thing as eternity. Because all that has been created will be destroyed. The entire universe is marching towards its own destruction. I mean, listen, I don't want to ruin your day or anything like that. But it just so happens to be that way. That there was a time, there was nothing, and there's a lot of discussion on how it all started. And it's all called a theory. I love that word, theory. Because nobody really knows, but there's a lot of theories, a lot of hypotheses, getting very close. Everybody's out to prove it. But it's pretty clear that one day, gone. Gone. And so, in this amazing saga that plays out for billions and 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 billions of years, from nothing to nothing, there is something. And that something is your existence. Your existence. You exist. What does that mean? Well, that's good. No. This is not just good. This is phenomenal. I mean, we're not talking about your backyard. We're not talking about a handkerchief disappearing. We're not talking about a coin disappearing. We're talking about nothing. To all this that is, all the universe, everything, to nothing, and you exist. This moment, there's a quote, right? This moment is incredibly precious. It's a gift. That's why it's called a present. The present. There's a little sticker on my refrigerator. I don't know, I didn't put it there. One of my kids must have. I was looking at it, and I said to myself, but it is the presence in the present that makes it all so incredible. The presence in the present. The present gift, the present now, the presence of you being alive. And you have a choice. There was a movie I watched a long time ago, and then I came across it again, thanks to technology. And it's called Gods Must Be Crazy. I don't know if you watched it. It's kind of funny. And there are these people living in the Kalahari Desert. And they live an incredibly simple life. What else are they going to do? And it was amazing what the guy is saying is that they don't even yell at their children. They have so much respect for each other. Here, I see mothers and fathers reading books of how to raise your child. Good God! If you were reading a book about how to raise the chickens, I understand that. Because you should have no knowledge of how to raise a chicken unless you are a rooster. But you're not. How to Raise a Goat. You read that book, I like, whoa, that's interesting. Are you raising goats? Wow. How to raise a human being? That's yours? No clue. Should I hit him? Think. Think. Should you? I mean, just think. It's yours. Should you? Do unto others? No, all that's out. Oh, I just feel like it. Well, try it on you first. Hit yourself. See if it makes a difference. Spare the rod, spoil the child. Then why wasn't a rod included? But here we go. Not being human. Because being human is somewhere down here in your list. But that's not the reality. That's not the reality. The reality is that you are alive and there is the most incredible, and all I can call it is thing because I don't think there is an appropriate word for it. And it's called life. And it dances. And it dances. Water has no shape. And air has no color. But when they two come together, it becomes a cloud. And you can see it. And it's changing. It's changing so fast. And what does it have in it? It has in it the promise. The promise of that one drop of rain. That one drop that can transform, that can change an arid desert into the most magnificent garden. That's the promise. That's the possibility. That's the choice we have. If we want, I know most of you have heard, oh yeah, he's going to talk about peace. That's easy. Why is it easy? Peace is in you. What? Peace is in, yes, peace is in you. What you're looking for is in you. The joy that you seek is in you. People go, oh yeah, I've been looking for truth. You wouldn't recognize truth if it came and hit you in the face. Because you're looking at the most incredible truth. every day that you look in that mirror, you see the most incredible truth there is. And you know what the truth is? You are alive. That's the truth. That's the truth. You're alive. 4.5 billion years in the making on this planet Earth, you exist. I know there's a lot of scientists. It's like they're out there, we're looking for life. And I'm like, come to me, I'll tell you, I'll show you where life is. It's teeming with life. It's called planet Earth. I mean, come to New York. You don't even need a magnifying glass. You don't need a sample. You will probably get hit by life. Go to Delhi. Go to Bombay. Go to Calcutta. Teeming with life. Human beings on the face of this. I'm not against them searching for life. That's fine. But if they're really looking for life, I know where there is. Maybe nobody told them that. The whole schooling that they went through, nobody said, if you're looking for life, it's right here. I would just like to extend that, just in case that possibility was overlooked. I would just like to just say, if you're looking for life, I know a planet where there is life. And not just life. That there are human beings that have the capability of destroying themselves and also have the capability of saving themselves. That there are human beings on the planet Earth, here, right here, that have the possibility that each one of us on this earth holds in them an ocean of kindness, an ocean of kindness, an ocean of generosity, an ocean of understanding. And of course, a very stenchy ocean of hate and greed. And that movie that I was talking about, everything is wonderful in this little community of people till they find an empty Coke bottle. Now, it's nothing. Coke is not to blame for it. It's the bottle. And as soon as the bottle comes into play, the whole issue changes and it becomes mine. No, it's mine. And fights begin. The same trauma that you see on the face of this earth. This is mine, that is yours. And this has got the whole world in a tizzy. And I'm not saying I don't do that. Oh yeah, no, it's not like I sleep with my front door open in my hotel. I don't, I lock it. Because I don't want anybody to come in there. That's my room. But at the same token, the greed that exists in this world is amazing. The greed should be for joy. The greed should be for understanding, for Understanding. Who am I? What am I? I'm here for a very short period of time, and then I will be gone, and there is no return. Absolutely not. It's you talk about final, that's final. And yet, so far I am alive. So far, this vessel has this incredible breath coming in and out. It is capable of so much. Have you exercised in your life your most incredible possession that you have? The choice. You have the choice to be fulfilled. I know there are people going, how? It's not the issue of how. How comes later. First comes, are you going to do it or not? Do you want to make the choice or not? Some people go, if I only knew, then I would do it. When you're hungry, do you only get hungry if you know what it is there that you're going to eat? Or you are hungry because you are hungry? Hunger is hunger. Thirst is thirst. If it gets cold water or tepid water, I was only thirsty for cold water. You're not thirsty. I'm only thirsty for Coke. You're not thirsty. I'm only thirsty for Pepsi. You're not thirsty. When you are thirsty, there are no conditions. When you're hungry, there are no conditions. Because you feel your hunger. You will hear me say this word many, many times, clarity. What is clarity? What do I mean by the word clarity? Clear, to be clear. To know. To know the value of today. You know the value of tomorrow, right? You've been told that. Oh, tomorrow is very, very important. Haven't you heard that? Tomorrow is important. 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 But that person, and I know there are many, many trainers, that do training out there, and a lot of people, a lot of inspirational talkers. I don't consider myself an inspirational speaker at all. A lot of people say, oh, you're an inspirational speaker. Somebody said that to me in Malaysia. I see you on TV, you're an inspirational speaker. And I said, inside I'm like, oh God, no. In fact, I say to people, and I've said this, the audience of 300,000, I shouldn't be out here talking to you about this. It's wrong. What I'm saying you should know. That peace that you're looking for is inside of you, that clarity is important, and the value of today, you should know. You should know. Of all people, you should know. Of all species, you should know. And they tell you about tomorrow. And they tell you about yesterday, but they don't tell you about today. Well, that's what I talk about today. Did you know that tomorrow never comes? Did you? That your whole life, I know, take it easy, your whole life, your entire life will be spent in today. Did you know that? It is physically impossible for you to be in tomorrow. You can only be in one thing, and that is today. And your whole life will be spent today. Any day of your life where you find yourself alive will be called today. Just today. But do you live for today? No. You live for tomorrow. You get your kicks out of yesterday. Boy, that was good. And you jump. Boy, that was good. Let's do it again soon. You are the master of avoiding today. This is what you have perfected. Not good clarity. You should be the master of recognizing today. And actually, you can even narrow that down a little bit more. There's only one place you will ever be. It's called now. It always was, wasn't it? It was now, 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 now. Do you know the now? Do you know your possibility? Do you know the gift that you have been given? Do you know? You see, when you do, that's when you become clear. That's when you become clear. You say, and you start to understand. Then you go, you know what? I don't need to sit there and pray. I need to sit there and think. Big difference. The world is looking for a genie. They want a genie. And they couldn't find one. So they made one up. And who got the brunt of that? God. The great genie. Please. Please make me handsome. Please, I'm losing too many hair. Please make me, I haven't studied. Tomorrow is the exam. Please make me pass tomorrow. This is what, I'm like, wait a minute, how's this going to work? I see people in the battlefield, they're going off, they're going to go kill these guys, and they're praying. You know, Lord, may us make us successful in our mission. And the other guys are doing the same thing, going, yeah, those guys who are coming to kill us, Lord, help us, kill them. Now, I'm not God, but I've had a similar experience with my children. where the two kids are asking me something that is completely opposite. Punish him because he did that. Punish him because he did that. And I'm like, well, can't. I saw people praying so hard watching the soccer game, the football game. Oh man, you could almost hear the prayer. It's like, whoa, this is getting close. And then, nothing. 0-0. When do people go to pray? On a Sunday. What is Sunday? That's the Lord's day of rest. Who created these rules? If the Lord did, that's very fishy. You can pray to me on Sunday. Sunday is my day off. That's a nice way to brush somebody off. I mean, it's like the entire human species. You're finished. But we made these rules. And we love to abide by these rules. But we never see the silliness of the rules that we have made. Silliness. And the world is chasing. What advice would you give? Have you ever seen one of those dogs that loves to chase its tail? Have you seen those little ones? We used to have one when I was growing up. He was a Lhasa Apso. He was little, but boy, everybody was afraid of him, except for my father. He was very focused. And he would sit there, his father was sitting outside, he would sit there, and nobody could come close. And he was just a little thing. He loved to bite anything that moved. But he had a temper. And once he could find, even out of the corner of his eye, he would see his tail. That was it. That tail had to be attacked, and he would run. And it wasn't just like for a few minutes. He would go on and on and on. He was so protective. He saw this thing coming from the back, he had to attack it. What advice would you have for this little dog that is chasing its own tail? What advice would you give? One could be, calm down. 2, it's pointless. Even though it has a point, it's pointless. 2 or 3, if you caught it, you will be in great pain. Or, relax, you don't need to do this. Now, with that particular dog, his name was Tommy. Would he hear you? No, of course not. Tommy would never hear you. The only thing that could save his day would be if he saw you and found you more attractive than the tail to attack, and then he would forget about his tail. Another thing, he never recognized himself in the mirror. He saw himself in the mirror and he would bark and he would bark and he would bark and he would get very, very angry. When I was growing up, I didn't know I was ever going to come to the West. And I certainly didn't know if I was ever going to come to Canada. I didn't even know Canada existed. But here I am, Sunday, July 13th, 2014, in Toronto, talking to you about Tommy. To draw an analogy that we too have all become like Tommy, and we're chasing our own tail. We don't recognize ourselves. Every time we see ourselves in the mirror, we bark, "Who is this? Who am I?" And it just goes on and on and on and on. And you have a choice. What are you choosing? You have a choice. What are you choosing? Will this entire, I call it the circus. It's an incredible circus, huge. It'll be gone one day. One day it'll pack up and it'll be all gone. It'll be billions and billions. It's not tomorrow. Believe me, I'm not one of those people that, okay, the world's coming to an end, the world's coming to an end. Last year, I think it was coming to an end. Somebody actually said, "Is it going to come to an end?" And I said, of course it's going to come to an end. Einstein said so. Whatever was created will be destroyed. But it's going to be a few billion years. And you still have a choice. You see, don't be distracted by will it end or will it not end. That's not the point. The point is, what is your choice and are you making that choice? That is your choice. That's the point. What is your effort? Not towards world peace. Forget about world peace, okay? Just forget about world peace. What is your effort? Your effort towards bringing peace in this world. Your world. Somebody who has 2 honors, 2 different places, Brazil and Italy. Ambassador of peace is saying, forget about the world peace. And worry about this world peace. Because if there is no world peace in this world, it's never going to happen out there. Ever. Do you recognize your world? Do you recognize your world? And do you know that you are the sovereign king and the emperor of this world? You are the sovereign king and the emperor of this world. Your Royal Highness, how is your world? In your world, do your citizens give thanks? In your world, do your citizens live without fear? In your world, are your citizens content? In your world, do people prosper? In your world, in your kingdom, are people happy? Every day. Your Royal Highness. Who are your citizens? The citizens are the moments that come, that live, that move on, that need to be in contentment, in joy. Are they? Or like just any other kingdom? They lay waste, unattended, unheeded, dying of starvation because the king doesn't care. The king, so wrapped up, his own little ideas, trying to make sense out of nonsense. Or is the king benevolent enough to care? To care about this kingdom. Which one? Which one is it? And that, Your Royal Highness, is the choice you have. You can be the most benevolent ruler, just and kind, clear, simple, and rule, and to rule. Even if you live to be 100 years, 100 years, 36,500 days. That's how many days you get to rule. Take a few when you are too little. Take a few when you may be too old to physically do anything. But, this is your kingdom. This is your rule. What are you going to choose? What are you going to choose? You know, when I was growing up, we used to have a lot of mango trees. And when we come across a mango from a particular tree that was sweet, we really prized the seed of that mango. So we'd sow it. Because we knew that whatever plant would come from this mango tree at least has the possibility, has the potential to bear fruits just like the one I had eaten. Do you know how to pass on your kindness, your clarity, your wisdom? People write books. People write books. And we look at those books and go, that it is written. How can you abdicate? How can you abdicate your capacity to understand and say, just because it was written, it's good enough? No! That's not living life, my friends. That's just copying. And when there is uncertainty, that's what you will do. You know, when you don't know, it's like if the queen was to be, I've seen this, and I've seen it in very comical things, where the queen is coming and this guy doesn't know what to do, and he's like, he's just looking at the others and he's just going to copy them because he doesn't know what to do. Mr. Bean. So, is that how you're going to live your life? Copying somebody else? There are people who go, oh my God, look at that guy. He's got that white flowing hair, these beautiful saffron robes, bright shining eyes. He must be enlightened. I say this in India. Why does he have to advertise that he has given up the world, to the world? I mean, who's he advertising to? To himself? It's not like he goes, oh, look, yeah, I'm enlightened. No, he's telling the world, I have renounced you. So you can go around the world, keep saying, I renounced you. I renounced you. I'm not like you. I renounced you. Look at me. I renounced you. I am different than you. Yeah, I get the same reaction. They laugh. They go, never thought of that. That's what happens. You cannot live like that. This is a kingdom. This is afoot. This is happening. And that the peace that you want, and how important is it to have peace in your empire? How important is it to have peace? Only you can make that decision. Prosperity, very important. Dignity, very important. And peace, very important. Do you rule with uncertainty or do you rule with certainty? Do you have strength or are you weak? Then, this is what I'd like to tell you. You have a strength in you that cannot be fathomed, that cannot be measured. You do. Don't save it for a bad day. God, you crazy? Bring it out now. On a good day. That's the best day to bring out that strength. Make it shine. Know it works. People go, yeah, well, I'll just save my strength for a really bad day, because then I'll need it. Don't check your flashlight in the middle of the storm. It's a bad idea. Check for it before the storm comes. Will the storm come? Of course the storm will come. Of course the storm will come. But you can't afford to get decimated. You can't afford it. Excuse me, you can't afford it. You can't afford that. The storm will come. How it'll come, nobody knows. But it'll come. And you cannot afford to be decimated when the storm comes. When I say to you, peace is inside of you, does that come as news to you? You know that. You know that, don't you? Don't you? That's what Socrates said. He was one of those guys who said, question everything. You should question everything. And then he gives an answer, know thyself. That is not know thyself. No, it's know thyself. Know thyself. Know yourself. For me, it is very simple. There's so much good news. I'm not here to tell you, oh yeah, you don't have this, you don't have this, you don't have this. Take this course or read this book and read that book and this will help you do this. And this is not a dieting program. It isn't. This is about have a feast. But before you do, deserve it. Deserve it. Your Royal Highness, deserve it. Have ruled well. And each one of your citizens, those moments will give you a gift. And it will be a gift unparalleled. It'll be the gift of joy. It'll be the gift of recognition. It'll be the gift of understanding. Because you have ruled well. And when that day comes, that you have to go, go with pride. Not uncertainty. Go with pride. This world would be a very different place if all the religions would have just said one thing. Just one thing. That's all they needed to say. And this actually doesn't change anything in their religion. If the religion would have just said this, all of them, all the religions, if you want heaven there, make it heaven here. If they would have just said that, this world would be a different place. It really would be. People would be going, oh my God, I want heaven there. Absolutely, I got to make heaven here. But they don't say that. They don't say that. And it wouldn't change anything. Wouldn't change anything. You want heaven there? Fine. Where? Up where? But I'm not going to get there. Because the earth is rotating at 1,040 miles an hour. You got to point. Like, because it's going round and round and round. But it is true. Make heaven here. Make heaven here. You're the emperor, you're the king of your world. And it's not about, will that guy do it? What kind of king are you? You're not the king of that world, you're the king of this world. And you have that choice. Everything becomes conditional. I will do it if he does this. Are you a brat or are you an emperor? Only if he says sorry will I say sorry. If he doesn't say, Hey, you're not the emperor of his world. You are the emperor of this world. Pay attention to this world. And the day you do, your life will change. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. You know, for somebody to come out when you're 4 years old and come out in front of quite a few thousand people and start speaking about life, when you only have been around for 4 years. Speaking about how to be thankful for what we have. It's really, it's the day when your whole life changes. It's not the same anymore. It just changes. It changes. And all those years, I've been going around and talking to people. I'm not trying to convince them. I can't. And I'm not there. And I'm not here today either to say, I have taken care of my kingdom. No, I haven't. But I try. And that's why I say, that's the choice. And that's the choice I have to make every single day. I'm not here to tell you I'm holier than you. So listen to me. I have an exemplary kingdom here. No, far from it. But I try. Would you? Would you? Would you also try? That's all. That's all. That's all I say. I'm not here to praise myself. If you would have asked that 4-year-old, do you know what you're about to do? Yeah, I'm going to talk. What are the implications of all this? I don't know. I didn't know then. I don't know how people take my message. I'm sure I make people angry. Well, how can he say that? But that karma thing he just said, that doesn't. How can he say that? But that's so true. And look, you want me to tell you things about that I don't know anything about? Really? Really? I've scrambled my head about the karma. By the way, excuse me, you know where I was born? I was born in India. You think you're a karma expert? You think you're a karma? I was born with karma all around me. It's like when you're born in India, that's it. It's not one concept, it's one concept after, and it's just, you just kind of feel ecstatic that you explored another concept. Wow. There were many, many years people were perfectly happy knowing the earth was in the middle and the sun went around. So somebody said, I don't want to really, make anybody angry, but that's not the way it is. And you know what he was told? You're wrong. Get off it. You're going to get yourself killed. When I was very young, 4 years old, speaking, people said, that's not him. He's lip syncing. People said, oh, this isn't going to last very long. But here I am, 52 years later. I'm still talking about the same thing. And with no uncertainty. Because if I can help you, then it is my great pleasure. My great pleasure. As simple as that. As simple as that. Today is almost over. Or is it? Your Royal Highness, your decision. Your decision. And from now on, for the rest of your life, your decision. Your Royal Highness. Thank you very much, and good night.